Alright, everybody out there. How's it going? It's Jose here once again. Well, as you can see up there, I got a chance to see Bullet to the Head. I went to see this in the theater a couple days ago. I went with a friend of mine who also wanted to see the movie. And just to get right into it, no, this is not a very good movie. It's not very good. If I could just to make this quick, I'm gonna split this into two things. The only good thing in this movie is Stallone. But even with Stallone, it kind of felt like he was really just phoning it in. I mean, he tries a little bit, but this material is not very good. Okay, basically, the basic premise: Stallone plays a hitman. Jason Momoa kills his partner. Stallone wants revenge. At the same time, you've got Sung Kang's character, who plays a cop from another state, comes to Louisiana. Finds Stallone, says, I want to help you find the guys that killed your partner. And the movie sort of just takes off from there. So, where this movie fails in two ways. Number one, it fails as a buddy movie, and number two, it fails as an action movie. As a buddy movie, the reason it fails is because there's no chemistry at all between Sung Kang and Stallone. Zero. And in fact, the formula here, the formula in most buddy movies is, you got two people. They're usually sort of, well, in this situation where two people meet up, not where, like, they've been friends for a long time. They usually start off not liking each other, maybe, and then as the plot progresses, they end up becoming friends at the end. That never happens here. At the end of the movie, Stallone hates Sung Kang, and Sung Kang still hates Stallone. They still dislike each other at all. They still don't like each other at all. No chemistry between these two. Now, I know originally it was going to be Thomas Jane, which would have been good. I mean, I like Thomas Jane more than Sung Kang. I mean, as far as Sung Kang is concerned, I didn't like his character. I thought his character was he was kind of annoying, and he does something really stupid really early on when he takes the firing pin out of Stallone's gun. I mean, you could have gotten him killed by doing that. And Stallone, after that happens, Stallone is, pissed at him, rightfully so, for taking the firing pin out of his gun. But, also, throughout the movie, Stallone is pretty much killing people left and right. But Sung Kang keeps telling him, you're not going to kill people. You got to let me take them in and blah, blah, blah. And he keeps complaining about this. Like it is, like he says in the trailer, you can't just kill a guy like that. And Stallone goes, I just did. And I thought to myself, dude, you teamed up with a professional killer. Okay, this is a man who makes his living by killing people. Did you really think he was just going to listen to what you said and not kill anybody, even though he says early on that he said he was going to take them down? But yet you choose to complain about it. And the fact that he's a cop and he's just going to let Stallone go, even though he's witnessed him kill all these people, it doesn't really make any sense. I understand it's a movie, but still, and also a problem I had with this, also because they cast Sung Kang, is all the fucking Asian jokes. There's so many of them throughout this movie. The shit with the white tiger juice, or the thing where he's like, oh, read some fucking tea leaves, and Stallone calls him a samurai. And then when they kidnap Christian Slater calls Sung Kang Kato. I'm like, okay, we get it. Sung Kang is Asian. Can we move on? This shit is not funny. I've seen Asian jokes on Family Guy that were funnier than this. Okay? Slightly more racist, but funnier. And they make racist Mexican jokes that I laugh at, too. It's like if they casted Michael Pena and they made a bunch of jokes about him, about Stallone's like, why don't we stop and get some Taco Bell? It's like, hey man, that's not real. That's not real Mexican food. What you talking about, man? Michael Pena. He probably would have been better. Michael. Even if they casted him, the movie would still suck. Now the action sequences in this, they're pretty pathetic. Honestly, most of the action in this movie doesn't last longer than like a minute and a half. It's over like that. Um, Three little piss poor fight scenes, one of which is at the end. Two explosions. No car chases. No real shootouts. It's really really lame. Now, a buddy movie doesn't have to be action packed to be entertaining. It doesn't. Want proof? I brought some movies here because I'm going to make a point in a minute. This one right here, Gunman, with Christopher Lambert and Mari Van Peebles. This is not an action-packed movie, but you know what? I still really like it. It's entertaining. Why? Because I like Christopher Lambert and Mari Van Peebles. I thought there was great chemistry between these two. I thought there was a lot of great, funny dialogue. Dennis Leary is great as the villain. Again, not a whole lot of action, but it's still really entertaining. And also, another point I want to make is the fact that they don't end up sort of friends at the end, because some people might think, well, a hitman and a cop could never really like each other because they're on completely different sides of the law. So a hitman and a cop could never find common ground, could never learn to sort of respect each other, and maybe have to fight against the common enemy. All right, that could never work, right? Kind of like what happened in this movie, John Woo's The Killer, which is an awesome movie, by the way. I don't like it as much as Hard Boiled, or even as much as some of the movies he made in America. Well, maybe I would say I like this more than Mission Impossible 2. But this mainly in the third act, you've got a hitman and a cop teaming up, finding common ground, gaining some type of mutual respect for each other, and they have to team up at the end to take on the bad guys. Right there, these two, Chow Yun-fat, and I think that guy's Daniel Lee, I believe is his name. And this is miles better than Bullet to the Head. If you haven't seen The Killer, check it out. It's a lot of fun. And but yeah, I mean, its biggest flaw is the action is just not there. It's a lame movie when it comes to the action, especially coming from Walter Hill, who's directed a lot of great movies. And fuck, I got another movie here that's better than this. I actually found this just lying around my room when I was picking up The Killer. Viper, a.k.a. Bad Blood, with Lorenzo Lamas. This is actually up on my other channel if you want to check it out. This is a much more entertaining movie. It has more action. It has better action. It has an awesome ending. And Lorenzo Lamas, he actually kicks more ass in this movie than Stallone does in Bullet to the Head. That's sad. The Renegade did a better movie than Rambo? Oh well. But some people might think that if Thomas Jane had been in this, it would have been a better film. Honestly, I don't think so. Because if this is the way that character was written, just take Thomas Jane's character, put him in there. Get rid of all the Asian jokes. Maybe there would have been more chemistry between the two. It just depends, because more than likely they had to change a lot of the dialogue to have it make more sense with Sung Kang's character. But even if he was there, even if the dialogue was better, it would still be a crappy movie. Maybe it would be a slightly better buddy movie, but it would still be a crappy action movie. They would still be, you could say that the only good things in the movie would be Thomas Jane and Stallone. But even that wouldn't have been enough. But we'll never know. And Sung Kang's acting, it wasn't awful, but it wasn't great either. It was just really mediocre, especially standing next to Stallone. For the most part, Sung Kang doesn't do a whole lot of anything. He's really just there to move the plot forward because he can do things because he's a cop that Stallone can't. So he can call into the police station and figure out where the guy that set up Stallone and his partner up is at. He's at that Turkish bathhouse. Can figure out who these certain people are, and that's about it. He's just there to move the plot along. But other than that, he doesn't do a whole lot of anything. And Jason Momoa as the villain is okay. It's not great. He doesn't have a whole lot. He doesn't really have a whole lot to do. That's probably a good thing. If you've seen the Conan remake, that's probably a good thing. He doesn't have a whole lot of dialogue. He mainly just has to stand around and look mean, which I guess he's good at that. And he's not even really the main villain. The main villain is this other guy who he's got essentially his plan is the exact same plan that M. Bison had in The Legend of Chun-Li. It's essentially a real estate scam, I guess you could say. He wants to tear down a bunch of old buildings and put up condos for rich people. That's it. Which is exactly what Bison was going to do in The Legend of Chun-Li. And Stallone doesn't even kill him. Jason Momoa does because the main villain, the other bad guy, lets Stallone go. He's going to give him a bunch of money to supposedly kill Sung Kang. And Jason Momoa doesn't like that, so he pretty much just kills everybody else until it's just Stallone and him. And you get the axe fight, which isn't much of anything. Again, it only lasts about a minute and a half. I did like these little two things where Stallone takes the pick end of the axe and sticks it in Jason Momoa's foot, and then he takes this knife out. He puts it's like a switchblade. He puts it up to Jason Momoa's neck, and then he pops the knife out. I thought that was cool. But Jason Momoa just sort of rips out. He's going to kill Stallone, and then Sung Kang has to save him, which I thought that was really lame. And like I said, at the end of the movie, Stallone first of all, he shoots Sung Kang in the shoulder, and he says, "I shot you, I got away, and that's what you're going to tell the cops." I thought that was kind of funny. He just shoots him in the shoulder and leaves him there. At the end of the movie, it's a couple months later, and Sung Kang's like, "If you break the law again, I'm going to take you down." And Stallone's like, "Yeah, whatever," and he drives off in a fucking Ferrari. And I realized something, too. I even leaned over to my friend, I said this to him. Sung Kang's not even a cop in this state. What's he going to do? It's not even his jurisdiction. He has to go back to where he's from. It's not like he can watch Stallone unless he transfers there to Louisiana. And like I said, at the end of the movie, they still hate each other. They're still not friends like it is in a typical buddy movie. I guess they were trying to be different, but, it's probably a formula for a reason. I mean, now, do I blame a lot of the problems on Sung Kang? Really? No. I didn't like his character, and I thought his acting was really mediocre. He's a character actor. He's got character actor written all over him. He's not really at the level of a leading man. He's not ready he's just not there for that role. He's a character actor. Like, I'm sure I saw the trailer for Fast 6, which, by the way, that looked fucking awesome. And he's going to be in that. I'm sure he's going to be fine in that because it's an ensemble role. It's an ensemble role. He's going to be part of a bigger cast, and I'm sure he's going to be fine in that. But he's not there to be a leading actor, especially next to Stallone. And for the most part, Sung Kang doesn't do much of anything. He just sort of stands around and moves the plot along. And the Asian jokes got on my fucking nerve. They're like I said, they're not funny. They were just annoying. So there you go. I mean, I didn't like the movie. Right here, I got 3 movies that I thought were a lot better. Especially these 2 I brought out because here's a buddy movie that didn't have a lot of action but was still entertaining because I like these 2. And here's a movie where a hitman and a cop actually can team up. So this proved that could work if done right. But that's John Woo. So yeah, it's not very good. I can definitely say The Last Stand was better. I mean, couple days we got A Good Day to Die Hard coming out. I'm definitely going to be seeing that. I'm hopefully going to get a review of that up sooner. But Bullet to the Head, it's not very good. It's just it's a shitty script. For me, any movie ends and begins with a good script, and this was just not a good script. So yeah, don't waste your money. Later.